Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this one we're going to look at Azure AD Privileged Identity Management solution from Azure, and in this series of videos we're actually working on AZ500X, which is the upgraded version of the labs for Azure Security Technologies or the Azure Security Engineer certification exam that are available on the GitHub from Microsoft Learning. I have already created 4 other videos for the 4 previous labs. In this particular lab we're going to look at the Azure AD Privileged Identity Management. So kind of what we have completed so far, if you kind of take a quick look at. So the last lab is very much related to this one, so I would recommend that you finish this lab definitely before you coming to this lab that we're going to do now. In the previous lab we looked at the MFA, multi-factor authentication, very closely, and we looked at how you can enable that for enterprise wise, then how you can enable that multi-factor authentication using conditional access, and also identity protection, how you can use that and you can make sure people are using the multi-factor authentication when there's a risk related to a user or a sign-in activity that Microsoft considers or Azure considers risky, potentially risky. And this lab we're going to focus on the PIM. Okay, so that's kind of the background of what we're going to do. So the objective of the lab is just to configure PIM users and roles, activate the PIM users, and create an access review. All 3 are very important. Okay, so first, to configure a PIM users and roles, you gotta make sure the user is actually eligible for the PIM module or PIM role. Okay, and then configure the role to require approval to activate and add an eligible member. Okay, and then give a user a permanent assignment to role. So let's get to the lab. So as usual, we'll go to that particular Azure. We're gonna stick to our lab tenant that we have, and what we'll do, we'll search for Azure AD Privileged Identity Management. So until your MFA, your Active Directory, your all of that conditional access policy, all of that comes under your Active Directory. Azure AD Privileged Identity Management is like a separate entity, like a separate service. Okay, so all you need to do is come over here, make sure you are at the directory where you need to be. So you can click on here and click on all directories, and this is the directory we want to be, and that's where we are. So I'm fine. So let's go back home, and from here we're gonna search for Azure AD Privileged Identity Management. So here is the service, so you just click on it. So once you click on it, okay, so right now you are on the overview quick start bit. You're using the updated privileged identity management experience from Azure AD Role. So that's what they're saying that we're using. So let's go back to the lab. Under the manage section, click on Azure AD Roles. So let's go on the manage section. So first of all, let's look at the sections. You have the task section, you have my role, my request, approve, request, and review access. Then under manage you have the Azure AD Roles, Azure resources. Under activity you have my audit history, and then troubleshooting and support you have a couple more things that we're probably not going to take a look at that. So the first thing they're saying under manage, go to Azure AD Roles. So we are there, and in the manage section click on roles. So over here it's just giving you a general description of what it is. Azure AD PIM is a premium feature that enables you to limit standing admin access to privileged roles and much more. So let's go back. Quick start in the manage, click on roles. Quick start blade in the manage section. So where is my quick start blade? Quick start blade in the manage section, click on roles. So that's what you need to click on. So now here you can assign, you can provide the role assignments, which role you're going to assign the PIM feature. Okay, so click on role assignment, and looks like the billing administrator, they're going to get this PIM enabled for them. So here click on add assignments, such a role, just the billing administrator just here, so I'm just going to click on it. And no member selected. I think we're going to need to select some members if we like. They're saying add user 2, so over here add user 2, just add him, click on select, so that member is selected, hit next. Come over here, assignment type eligible, ensure the assignment type set to eligible and review the eligible duration setting and click assign. So over here, so we are going to make this person to have the billing administrator role, and that person will be eligible, and assignment dates today is 7/9 to 10/7. All of that looks good, so I'll just say assign. So that's assigning that role to that particular user. Now back to this roles tab, manage and click assignments. So now if you come over here, so we just assign one rule. So now if you look at assignments, that person better show up, and he did. Okay, and what it's telling us is direct membership. Here's a start time, here's the end time, and action, you can remove or update this assignment if you like. Okay, and look at that, this is coming under the eligible roles, so he is not active yet. Okay, there are other users active but not this user. Okay, and there are no expired roles as of right now. All right, so let's come back. Configure a role to require approval to activate and add an eligible member. So that one we need to do some additional stuff. So manage click roles and click the global reader entry, and what we'll know in the assignments bit. So let's first just go and do. So that you need to configure from that role definition itself. So let's do global readers. If you just click on this one, and here's a role setting that you have. Under the role setting, you should have the role assignments that you can most likely be able to adjust. So let's come over here, assignments blade, click on settings, click edit. So click on settings and click edit. So you have done that. So here on the activation, what do you need? So here you can activate all of that. Require justification for activation, require ticket information, require approval to activate. So if you do that, then you can select approver. So let's see what they're asking us to do. So on the activation tag, enable require approval, so that we have done, and then asking, hey, let's allow add user 3 to be the approver. So let's come back over here. There's no approver yet, so I'm going to use add user 3 as the approver, and let's come back over here again, and next assignment, allow permanent eligible assignment box. So from here, next assignment, and what they are saying, require justification, allow permanent active assignment. Is it on or off? Let me see. Clear. So clear that, so don't allow permanent active assignment, and once that, you can hit the update button most likely. Let's see. No, they're saying going to the notification and then edit role setting, global ruler blade, and then review and click on update. So let's go to the notification setting. Am I changing anything? Edit the role setting, global ruler blade, review the settings, and click update. I don't think I'm changing anything in here, so here just telling you just to look at it and then just hit update. So what it did, we have really assigned the global reader. If you want to enable this role, okay, this particular role, it has to go through role setting, your approval, okay, approval process, that require approval to activate. This is the main thing that we have done, and we have assigned user 3 as the approver for this job. Okay, so we have done on the global reader assignments. So let's see, let's just don't get lost. On the global reader assignment blade, click on settings and review conditions for the including Azure Multifactor Authentication, require approval. So we are doing all that for the global reader. Just make sure this is a global reader is the right role that we have done. So we have configured all of that on the global. Add assignments, then add user 2 to the global user. So let's come over here. So we have updated that. Let's add assignment, and the assignment we're gonna use no member selected. So add user 2 is a member who we're gonna select as part of the global reader group. Assignment type, let me say again, make it eligible, and then click assign. So eligible and assign. So this reader now has the global reader role assigned to this person. Okay, so we're making progress now to give a user permanent assignment to a role. So right now we have made these users eligible. That means they still have to go in, log into their accounts, accept the role and activate the role to be able to do any kind of privilege action. We can also make some of the users permanently assigned to be powerful. This is what we're going to do next. So we're going to go to again manage sections and roles, and we're going to click on add assignments, and we're going to look for the security administrator. Okay, so let's come over here, identity roles, then roles, add assignments, and then we'll look for a security administrator. So select that one. So we have that role right now. So whoever we're gonna assign add user to, and we're gonna do a permanently eligible role for him. So here, just again, all of them are pretty straightforward and similar. So we got that. So we go to the next one. Here we want to make this person permanently eligible. So there is no expiration. Okay, on this one, all others so far we have created, we had expiration date, but for this there is no expiration. You're still making it eligible and active. Okay, eligible, not active, not permanently active, but every time he wants to access, he can just enable the role. So that's where we are. Click assign and assign. So that is now assigned. So everything looks good. So the next exercise is activate PM role with and without approval. So two tasks. We have created some role assignments. Some roles needs approval and some did not. Okay, so activate a role that does not require approval. So what we'll do, we'll log in as add user 2. So let's open a private browser window. Let's go to portal.azure.com and let's get our username and password for user 2. Let's see, user 2, go to next, and user 1 password, and this password should be the same. So let's try stay sign in. Say no. Now you are signing in as that particular user. Okay, user 2. Okay, so up to that point it's clear. So once you are, again, you have to go to the Azure Active AD Privilege Identity Management. So let's go there. Let it just search for this, and let's go there. And under here you have my roles, my request, approve request, and all of that stuff. From here, let's go to my roles, and we should see two types of eligible roles: global reader, 3 eligible roles actually: global reader, security administrator, and billing administrator. Let's see if we have all that. So my roles, and there's the eligible roles, and there are the 3 different roles, okay, that we have assigned. Looks like 2 of them we said they're permanently assigned, and 1 we have said that it's going to expire in 10/7/2020. And if you look at it, these are eligible roles, not active roles, but you can click on the activate button to activate those roles. Okay, so we have verified that. In the row displaying billing administrator role, click activate. So the billing administrator, if I click activate, it's just asking me additional verification required. Click here to continue. In this box, type a text providing justification. Okay, so click here. I have a multi-factor authentication enabled here, so let's go to the other window again, and let's get that get my security token. Let me pause the video. Alright, what I did is just to did the multi-factor authentication validation. So I'm in here. So if you see, we clicked on one of the roles, the billing administrator, right? So let's go back to the lab. We have clicked on the billing administrator, and we clicked on the activate, and it says the additional verification required. That's what we did. Follow the instruction to verify your identity. Okay, and now activate billing administrator. In the reason box, type a text. So reason box need to perform some tasks. So give something really nice. If you want to reduce the number of hours you need, you can go down from like half an hour to 8 hours, and you can activate the role, and the role will stay active for that duration only. Okay, and then you can just remember that once you activate that role, it may take about 10 minutes for the role activation to take place. Okay, if this role does not require approval, so you should be able to sign out and log back in and begin using the activated role. So now you can click on activate, and the activation of the role process has started, and now it's successful. So now at this time, if you click all of that and kind of refresh this account maybe, and what I want to see, if I go to active roles now, so this role, since we have activated and we have activated for 8 hours, so it's telling me this role has been activated. I noticed that we didn't need any approval from anybody, it just activated the role for us for 8 hours. Okay, so now I can log in and perform my billing administrator duties if I want. Alright, sign out and sign back in as add user to account. Navigate back to and billing administrator is activated. On the active roles, in the row representing the billing administrator role, click on deactivate link. So I don't really need to get out, so we can just deactivate. Say I'm just done with my work, so I want to deactivate my role now. So what you need to do, go back to your no, not that one. I gotta go back to this window where I'm logged in. So go back here, privilege identity management, my roles, and active roles. All you need to do is deactivate roles. Say I'm done with the work, so just click deactivate and deactivated the role. So that's, I'm done with the work and I manually deactivated the roles. If I didn't do that, this would have been deactivated after 8 hours of usage. Okay, so now we have done that. Let's go back and see what else do you need to do. Activate the role that needs approval. So again, we're gonna try to enable the global reader role, and the global reader role will require some activation, it looks like. So come back, go to the eligible roles, refresh. This is my account, so I'm not eligible for anything, so go back to eligible to global reader, click on activate, so need it, okay, and say activate. And what you need to do, you need to look at this what is going on. It says processing your request, then validating that your activation is successful, and then activation is completely successful. So this one looks like need some approval. So let's go and see what else do we need to do. Click the notification icon to load and view the notification informing that your request is pending approval. As the privileged role administrator, you can review and cancel requests at any time. So let's go over here. If I come over here, I do not have anything pending request. I do not have anything. But this is again this is me. If I go over here, active roles, global reader, and it says that we have activated that role. How did that happen? So let's deactivate that one more time, and let's try to inactive that role. So come back over here. Looks like this is permanent and this is permanent. If I click on active again, I need to put something test. 8 hours is fine. Now I'm gonna watch what is going on over here. Processing your request, validating that your activation is successful, and then activation completed successfully. Okay, so that's also looks like all three of them are successful. When the final set completes, your browser will automatically refresh. You do not have to do anything. So that one also looked like it didn't require any activation. It just activated the role. I just had to provide some additional information. Alright, so if I come over here, now we're gonna try to do this for the security administrator role and see what is happening. So if you click on this one, validation request, now you have additional verification requirement. So you click on that one, it's going to take you to where? Let's click continue, follow instruction to verify your identity. So it didn't really ask me to verify my identity. Do I need to, let me hold on, let me see. We may have to log back in. Okay, we are on step 6. I'm gonna click on it one more time and see if it's going to any place. No, this is not doing what I needed, so let me just log out and log back in real quick. And once I try to log back in again, I'm going to go to the Azure AD privileged identity access, my roles, active roles. We have activated one, the global ruler. This time we're going to try to add the security administrator role. Again, if it asks for additional verification, let's click on it. Okay, now it's asking for the additional verification. So let's again go to our Gmail and get the verification code, and let's give it over here, verify your account, and log back in. So now you put something, let me in for 8 hours. That's all good. Just click on activate. So this time we are doing the security administrator. Okay, and it's just going through the validating your activation is successful and activation completed successfully. All of that 3 stages that it goes through for the activation. And now it is bringing me back to the Azure roles. So if you look at the active roles, now you should see 2 of them have no expire roles as of right now. Okay, back on the my roles, click on the active roles. Notice the listing of the active roles includes security administrator but not the global reader role. We just thought that we show both roles. No, active roles is this, but global reader role is not available. No. Which use, this is a little confusing, so stay with me. What it's doing, it's asking back on my roles, AD roles plate, click on active roles. So let's go over here. In this I have global reader and security administrator both available to me. They were thinking global reader will not be available, but I do have that role available. That means it's telling me the global reader was not properly configured for an approval process. So let's go to the global reader one more time. So my don't just roles, let's look for the global reader one more time. Global role setting, edit setting, and yeah, so this is not activated. So you need to so I have to activate that one, but I didn't activate that one, and looks like user 3 can approve that role if we did that. So make sure that you have done that. So only reason that it happened because we didn't do that previously. So let's go back, global reader, let's deactivate this one and we'll try to reactivate, and we'll see what happens now. Okay, so global reader, now if I try to reactivate, okay, so, and then put some request test. Sometimes these rules take some so now this is working. So the new request is pending for approval. So if any of the roles are configured to have approval process built in, then only you have to wait for the approval. If not, then you do not need any approval. You can just activate yourself. Once you are done, you can go and you can deactivate a role. Okay, so right now where we are is here where we are done and we need to approve the role. So now we have to sign out and sign back in as the user 3 because this is the user who can approve my role. Okay, so let's come back over here. Let's get out from Azure account and then we're gonna log back in as this particular user. All right, so use another account, go in here, do next, copy the password that I have. Let's see if it lets me in. It says my signing is blocked. Sign out and sign in. Okay, so my account looks like it's blocked still based on my last lab. If you run into problem authenticate by using any of the user account, you can sign into Azure AD tenant by using your user account to reset the password or reconfigure the sign-in options. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to fix the Azure AD3 account. So let's come over here from here we're gonna go, let's think about it. Where do we want to go? So we're gonna go back to our other directory. So all directories, okay, this directory is the right directory. Let's go to Azure Active Directory, go to security. Where is our security? There is my security. Go to I'm trying to think, MFA, additional MFA. What I want to do, I want to just enable the MFA for that particular user as well, which is the user 3, and that would help us to solve a lot of problems. So let's come back. So let's try to log back in that user again. So no, that's not it. Let's get the username again. Okay, let's see if my sign-in policy is still picking up. No, actually no, I have to use the original initial password. That password is not good. So let's see what happens. It's blocking my device. So again, let's go back. So this is not, so we need to do something else. So come back. Come back over here. Come back. What we're gonna do, we're gonna go to identity management is where we want to go. So security, okay, and identity protection. Let's see if we have any risky sign-ins. This is the user, and I want to confirm the sign-in is safe. Let's try that. So if I do that, it says that it will take several minutes to make sure that it takes place. At the same time, what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn off my risk policies for now, because this is going to cause some problem with the lab, which we do not need. So let's turn off both our risk policy and the sign-in risk policy. Okay, now let's go back over here, and so we have taken a couple different ways to solve this problem that we are seeing right now. Let's see those tips that I have, if they save our world. So let's get the password. I'm sorry, this lab is a little bit longer. Now, so we have done two things. We have enabled the multi-factor authentication. So now it's not showing that it's a problematic account anymore, but you have to do a multi-factor authentication for this one. So let's select let's get the text message. Let's go back to our Gmail and get our text, and let's go back over here. Let's verify our identity. So once I have verified my identity, let's say done. And now, what is my current password? Now I can fix my password. That's my current password, and we want to use our very secure password, this and that. And now I can sign in. And once you sign in, what you want to do now, you have to go to your PIM account. That's where you want to look at your approvals. So approval request, there should be one. It says no request pending for approval. No, there is one. So this request for role activations has come. So I can click on this here. I can put a justification okay, and I can say, all right buddy, you can have access and your role is now activated. So again, you may run into this situation if you are continuing from the previous lab. So just go through the steps that I have just did to fix your problem. So we have done that. We have now approved the request, and we have all of the. Now you can sign out, and we can again sign back in as this user, and we verify that now both roles should be active for me. So let's go back and sign out. Once I sign out, I can now sign back in as this particular user again, and then sign in. And what I want to do, I'm going to go back to the privileged identity management and my roles. I know there will be 3 eligible roles, but 2 active roles. One's just recently approved by user 3, and this is the role. So that's all that really the crux of this particular lab, and that's all good. Now the last thing that we're going to do in this lab is create an access review. Okay, this is also pretty important. In this access review part, we have to configure security alert for Azure AD directory roles in PIM, and review the PIM alerts, like who are using, when they're being used, all of that stuff. Because again, identity is very, very important, especially identities which has got higher level of privileges. These are very, very important for your organization. So let's just look at what we need to do. Again, we're going to go back to our Azure portal. We'll still use the new tenant that we have created, and this time we are going to look at access review. Okay, so if you look not here, let's come over here. So I am logged in as add user 2. So this account, this browser is not required, so I can be myself and still logged into this account, and all I need to do is to be in Azure Privileged Identity Management. So over here, and now over here, what we need to review access maybe. So let's see, what is the blade that what we needed to do. Click on Azure AD roles. Okay, Azure AD roles. So Azure AD roles, and no access to display. So let's go back, Azure AD roles. Okay, so once you are here, access review, that comes under the manage section. Okay, task and manage. Under manage, you have the access review. That's what we are going to configure in this section of the lab. So we're going to create a new access review, and this is going to be the name of the review, global reader review. So let's stay with me. So over here, click on new, and we're going to configure the way the lab wants the global review, global reader review. Start date today's day, frequency 1 time. So start date today's day, frequency 1 time. That looks good. End date, end of the current month, and global reader. End date, end of current month. So you can do this, and scope for everyone is now selected. Review role membership is global reader. Review role membership is, we're gonna use the global reader role is what I'm going to review as part of this access review. And reviewer your account. So I am going to, who is the reviewers? So select a reviewers is gonna be me. Okay. Alrighty. So then we have two more settings. Let me see if we need to do that. On the create access review blade, set start. So we are really not configuring anything for this too. You can, but for now we have not done anything. We just said start, and it's started the creation of that policy. Okay. So now on the access review blade, under admin review header, click on the global reader entry. All right, let's see, let's go back. Access review. Let's refresh this page real quick. It sometimes takes a couple minutes to deploy this particular yeah, it showed up, so you can click on it, global reader. Okay, on the global review blade, examine the overview page and note the progress chart shown shows a single user is not reviewed category. So what they're saying, it's telling you the progress. Has it been reviewed? No. Review status is active, frequency 1 time. Select the reviewers, it's not showing anything over here. Here's the access review period. Okay, and its scope is for everyone. All right, on the global review blade, in the manage section, click on results node and note that user 2 is listed as having access to this role. So global reader blade in manage section, global reader role in the manage section, I can click on results. Yeah, so when I click on results, add user 2, this user has access to this global reader review role. So we have tested that. Click on this user to view the details audit log entries. So if you look at what's happened with this user, you can click on it, and it's going to give you the audit log for this particular user, when he is logged in and what he has done within this account. So that's really good for audit purposes. So now let's go back to the access review blade again. So here's my access review blade. Okay, let's see what else we need to do. In the task section, click review access, click global reader review entry. In the task section, okay, review access, and again we're gonna click on the global review access entry. And once we have done that, click add user 2 entry, and the reason box type a rationale for approval and then click approve. So here what you are doing now, so are you approving this particular approve? So you just write something and then you approve this. So you're saying that I have reviewed, I looked at this user's access and it looks good, so we're fine with that. So navigate back to the manage section and AD roles and go to access review and progress chart. So we're gonna go back to the progress chart and see if the access review has been done. So from here, overview, this is not, so overview, access review, where is my access review? My roles, sorry, no, not my roles, access review access reviews, and let's see, this also gets pretty confusing time to time, so just take your time. Overview, now which blade were I? select the entry representing the global reader review. Okay, so you still have to go to the global reader review, so still go back to access review. It will show up the review. This is the review that you want. So if you click on the review, this is going to give you now you see this circle is say green, and your not reviewed is now 0, reviewed is now 1. So we have reviewed this and we said yeah, everything looks good. So we have done with this section. So I think I have one little section left, which is review PIM alerts, summary information, and detailed audit information. So we can go back to the manage and click on Azure AD roles. So you can go over here, access review, you don't just go back to the overview, and you want to go to the Azure AD roles again. Okay, Azure AD roles, we think we are already here, right? So click Azure AD roles, manage and click alerts, and then click settings. So that's what we're, so under manage we're gonna go under the alerts, and then we're gonna look at the setting, and this is how we have the current risk levels defined within Azure. Okay, and this is very important that you need to know that. So there's high, the organization doesn't have Azure AD Premium P2, that risk level is high. Roles being assigned to outside of privileged identity management, that's also high. Pretty much anything else is low except for there are too many global administrators, that's a risk low, role risk as per the alert goes. Okay, so it's just saying just review the pre-configured alerts, return back to the overview, and review the summary of PIM activities, alerts, and role assignments, and click on resource audit. So let's go back, that's the last thing that we need to do. So now if you go to overview blade, this is going to give you all the roles that we have, how many global administrator, privileged administrator, and all that kind of stuff. How many roles are currently active, how many alerts you have got, and I'm just looking for the audit quickly. I don't see audit here, so let's look at where exactly to find it. In the activity sections, click resource added. So activity section is right here, so under there you can click on resource audit, and there we go. So you have detailed logs of all the users and what they have done. You have all that information available to you. Notice that you can read the detailed information including time, request, action, resource name, scope, and subject. So that's been a really long lab, and I'm glad that I'm at the end of it. Please do this lab multiple times to be really comfortable with the PIM solution. It's a very important feature, and it's going to add a very great security to your organization. So if you are a cloud administrator or a security person, please understand how to implement this, understand access review, understand how the conditional access policies works, and how you can make some of the rules to have approval process enabled. So with that, I'm going to just delete all the resources now that we have created for this lab, but for you, that is the end of the lab. If you like the video, I need to go. Okay, so if you like the video, just give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments for me, please leave the comments. If you're preparing for the exam, good luck. Please watch the other videos that you have. You may find all of them some of them useful. And thank you for watching. Have a great day.